Hey everyone, so I've got a complete upper body routine that you can do from home with absolutely no equipment, with 12 of the absolutely best bodyweight exercises hitting every muscle in your entire upper body, with each exercise being performed 45 seconds on with a 15-second rest in between. And the intensity with which you perform this workout makes it suitable for every level from beginner all the way to advanced. So let's begin with the first exercise, which is going to target directly the triceps, and this is going to be Sphinx Push-Ups. So getting ourselves down the floor in the plank position, ankles flexed, core nice and tight. Want to raise ourselves up, pushing through our hands and elbows, keeping our elbows in and raising ourselves up and down. Try to keep your upper body in a completely straight line throughout the movement. If you want to make this more difficult, you could do it with your hands further out in front. If you want to make it easy, you can do it with your hands nearer to your body. You should really feel the tension in your triceps. Don't forget, it's not the number of reps you can do, but the quality of each repetition. So make sure those reps count. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And final rep completed. So catching our breath, going to move on now to the next exercise, which is going to give us a nice deep stretch on our chest, and that's going to be parallel bar push-ups. So place your parallel bars on the floor. If you don't have a set of parallel bars, that's okay. You could just do standard push-ups, or alternatively, you could just use 2 books. Keeping your feet on the low stool around the same height. You want to lower yourself as far down as possible, keeping your elbows in and retracting your shoulder blades, and then pushing yourself up to the starting position with each rep. Don't forget to regulate your breathing. Go for a full contraction all the way down till your chin touches the floor and all the way back up again. If you find this too challenging, you can always switch to doing it on your knees. Last 10 seconds, let's get those reps out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and final rep completed. So moving on now to the next exercise, we're going to be targeting the medial head of the deltoids, and this is going to be lying deltoid raisers. So getting yourself down onto the mat or onto the floor, lying on your right hand side with your hand out in front of you. Want to raise ourselves up, pushing through our hand and holding for a second at the top, really feeling that tension on the right side of the medial deltoid. This exercise really helps give your shoulders a nice defined chiseled appearance. We're going to go for 22 seconds on the right side before switching over to the left. So turning our body around on the mat onto the other side. Again, hand out in front. And we're going to lift ourselves up with the left side, holding for a brief pause at the top of each movement. Last few reps to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. So the next exercise, we're going to be targeting directly all sections of the upper back. This is going to be inverted rows, and you're just going to need 2 standard chairs. So grabbing your 2 chairs, make sure they're heavy or weighted down. You're going to hold them with the overhand pronated grip, raising yourself up as high as possible, keeping your knees bent. This exercise can also be done with a static gravity bar if you have one of those. Make sure to lower yourself all the way down and raise yourself all the way up with each repetition. If you bring your legs closer to your body, this will make it easier. To make the exercise more challenging, you can put your feet further out in front. To fully engage your lats, you want to be really squeezing at the top. Just 10 seconds left. Final few reps. 4, 3, 2, 1. And exercise completed. So shake off those arms a little bit. We're going to move on now to the next exercise. Going to target more directly the chest and triceps, and this is going to be bench dips. So finding a chair or another low surface, hands behind you. You want to lower yourself down as far as you can go without touching the floor, and then push straight back up again. Really feel that contraction on the triceps, on the chest, with each repetition. If you're a beginner and this is too difficult for you, you can always do it with your knees bent. The further out in front your legs are, the harder exercise. The closer your knees are to your body, the easier. Don't forget, it's not the number of reps you can do, it's the quality of each and every repetition, so really feel that squeeze at the top of the movement. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. So you should really be feeling the burn in your upper chest for that last exercise. Moving on to the next exercise, going to be targeting more the rhomboid, scapular and rear delts, and this is going to be elbow raises. So grabbing 2 chairs, we want to place our elbows on the chairs, knees bent. Then we want to raise ourselves up, opening the chest as much as possible and squeezing the rhomboids, scapula, rear delts, teres minor and teres major. All of these are the muscles in the upper back that will help to give your back a nice defined, chiseled appearance. Once again, if you're a beginner, you can do this with your feet placed nearer to the chairs, or you can use lower chairs if you're more advanced. It will make it more challenging, making it scalable for everyone. And if you find this even too challenging, you're a complete beginner, you can always do it with your elbows against the wall in the corner of the room. Last few seconds, and get that final rep out. Now, many people think it's difficult to hit the biceps without using weights, but there's a very effective exercise you can actually do using your own body weight, and this is inverted bicep rows. So get yourselves back down on the floor. So for this exercise, I'm going to be using a radiator, but you can use any object of a similar height, such as a tabletop. You're going to place your hands flat on the surface, fingers pointing backwards, and raise yourself up as high as possible using primarily your bicep strength, lowering yourself back down and try not to let your back touch the floor in between repetitions. So similar to all these exercises, the further away your feet are from your hands, the more difficult it will be. If you're a beginner, you want to make it easier, you can always bring your feet closer to your hands, which will make the exercise easier. Try to keep pace with me. If you find it too difficult halfway through, you can always move your feet closer to your hands halfway through the exercise to get the reps out. Final few seconds. 3, 2, 1, and lower ourselves back down. Now, what makes this routine so effective is that by hitting different body parts alternatively, it means we can take the shortest break possible in between exercises. And just like performing supersets in the gym, this will lead to the maximum amount of muscle growth and strength in the fastest possible time. So moving on now to the exercise for the triceps, we're going to be doing chair tricep extensions. So placing a sturdy chair against the wall, you can use a weight to weight it down. You want to lean right in, keep your elbows as close as possible to your body, going up onto the tips of your toes and then locking out with each repetition, really feeling that contraction on your triceps. This is an absolutely fantastic exercise for defining the triceps. It's much like doing line tricep extensions in the gym, except it's even better because you're using your entire body weight. Remember, it's not the number of reps you do that's important, but the quality of each and every rep. If you start to find it too challenging, you can always move your feet close to the chair. It'll make it easier. 5 seconds left to go. 4, 3, 2, 1, and squeeze that last rep out. Now, it's very important when doing a complete upper back workout routine not to neglect the lower back. So the next exercise is going to be targeting the lower back directly. That's going to be reverse chair extensions. So placing a chair in the middle of the room, we're going to lie across it, grab hold of the handles, knees bent, then we're going to raise up our feet and glutes, squeezing at the top to really get that full contraction of the lower back and the glutes. Make sure not to just go through the motions, really squeeze those lower back and glutes as you raise your knees up and pause for a full contraction at the top of each movement. This exercise really helps give you a strong lower back and also develop your glutes, giving you a nice strong posterior chain. Just a few reps left to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. And final rep, squeeze, and back down again. Now it's important calisthenics to have very strong shoulders, and the fundamental exercise for this is going to be Pike push-ups. So you can do this on an inclined surface or on the floor depending on your level. So doing this on an inclined surface, you want to keep your legs as straight as possible. As you descend, you want to point your elbows backwards, keeping the majority of stress on your shoulders and as minimal amount as possible on the triceps, and this will maintain good shoulder health and alignment throughout the exercise. Now don't forget, if you find this too challenging, you can always do it on the floor instead. This exercise is excellent for developing the necessary shoulder strength to move on to more advanced calisthenics exercises such as handstand push-ups. You can also begin on an elevated surface and move onto the floor if it gets too difficult halfway through. And let's go for one final rep, all the way down and push all the way back up again and stand up. So the front of your shoulders should be on fire after that. We're going to do another exercise now that's going to target more directly the lower back again. This is going to be a static hold, which is going to be the plank. So let's get down on the floor. So getting ourselves down to plank position, resting on our elbows, core nice and tight, ankles flexed. We're going to tense our entire body and hold this position for a full 45 seconds. Don't forget to regulate your breathing. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Keep your abdominals as tight as possible, your glutes, your thighs, your entire body in a completely straight line from head to toe. Just 15 seconds left to go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to get ourselves back up. Now we've just got one final exercise left to do in this routine. Many people think it's not possible to train your forearms without weights, but it is. The next exercise is going to be chair wrist curls. So place your chair against the wall. When I lean back, just our hands resting on the tip of the chair, and then we want to push up with our wrists using our body as the weight to exercise the forearms as we squeeze our wrists up with each repetition, just as if we were doing a wrist curl with weights in reverse. So again, with this exercise, if you want to bring your legs further back, it will put more weight on your wrists and it will make it more difficult. If you want to make it easier and you're a beginner, you can move your feet closer to the chair. Last 5 seconds, let's get those reps out. 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's go for one final wrist contraction, really squeeze up. And there we have it, a complete routine hitting every section of your upper back using only your own body weight, your chest, triceps, shoulders, lats, rhomboids, scapula, rear delts, biceps, lower back, forearms. With 12 of the absolute top exercises you can do entirely from home. And what makes this routine scalable is it's not the number of reps you do, but the intensity with which you perform each exercise. Also, you could do this entire routine for 2 to 3 rounds if you're more advanced, building even more upper body muscle density and strength. So check out some of my other routines, such as last week's routine, a complete 10-minute home chest workout that's even more effective than going to the gym. Hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to share with your friends. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss out on any future videos. Great job for following along, everyone. Have a fantastic week and enjoy every moment.